Darla, real estate agent with Real Broker in South Louisiana. It is another fabulous day here in the South. One thing that I think confuses some people is there the possibility that you can purchase a different home even if you still owe on the current home? And the great news is this happens every single day, literally every single day. If you think back to probably your grandparents, maybe even some of your parents, people used to live in the same house sometimes their whole entire life. That's not common nowadays. In fact, people in their 20s, 30s, 40s, even in their 50s, some of these people have switched houses every 3 to 5 to 7 years. It's common, and I think it's because we just have so much going on all the time. Our lives are always changing. You know, we are able to see things online, on social media, and we're never satisfied. As humans, we are never satisfied with what we have. We're always looking for something different, and that's just life, right? That's just how we are. That's how we're wired, and that's perfectly okay. And so this is what happens. If you currently have a mortgage and you are wanting to move for whatever the reason may be, know that, number one, you're normal. People move every day. People move when they've only maybe owned a house for a year, maybe 3 years, maybe 5 years. People move because they are going through a divorce. There may be a death in the family. There may be life changes with work. Listen, there are literally thousands of reasons of why people move, and it's so common. And if you align yourself with a real estate agent who closes lots and lots and lots of transactions, they should be able to easily guide you through the process with, hopefully, not a whole lot of stress. Anytime you move, of course, it is stressful. I can't tell you it's not going to be, because it will be. There is always stress moving. But if you need to move or want to move, there is absolutely always a way. And so let's just pretend that you are wanting to move, and this happens so commonly often, is that younger couples will buy a house, let's say in a subdivision, knowing that one day they want to live out in the country. One day they want more privacy. One day they want less restrictions. And that's a call I get every single day, is that we live in a neighborhood. We want to now live out in the country where we don't have a whole lot of neighbors. What do you have available in the country? All right? And so basically what happens is, and it can happen a couple of different ways. I'll tell you how I handle it. If this couple needs to sell in order to buy, the first thing I say to them is, you need to call and find out what your payoff is. Now, if for some reason you don't have a payoff, listen, that's golden. That's a great situation to be in, but that is probably less than 1% of the population. Most people have a mortgage, and it may not be a large mortgage, or it may be a huge mortgage, right? And so the first thing I will say to the people who want to sell in order to buy is get in touch with your mortgage company, or look it up online if you have the access, and find out what your payoff is today. All right? Step number one. Okay? Then number two, what is your budget for a new house? So we're going to run your numbers. We're going to figure out how much you owe on the current home that you're trying to sell. How much can we sell that home for? Lots of times if you bought your house, within the last 10 years, if you bought it in the last 5, 7, 10 years, if you bought it more than 10 years ago, you have lots and lots and lots of equity in the home that you currently own. Because the price of real estate just yesterday was totally different than it is today. the price of real estate, just like everything else, is continuing to skyrocket. So if you bought your house a couple of years ago, 5 years ago, 10 years ago, you have lots of equity in that home. And so we're going to look at how much is that house worth today? How much can we sell it for? What is your current payoff? We're going to figure out those numbers. And then you are going to determine how much do you want to spend on your next home. And what you do is I will guide you to either the company that you currently have your house mortgage with or a different mortgage broker, whoever that you choose to get your new loan with your new house. And you will think about what do you want your current monthly note to be, knowing that that's including your mortgage, your insurance, and your taxes. And if you're in a flood zone or you plan on buying in a flood zone, that's your flood insurance also, right? So all those numbers combined, how comfortable do you feel paying X amount of dollars per month? And once you figure out that number and you pre-approved and you know your payoff and you know how much we're going to sell your house for, and we have a good guesstimate about how much we're going to net on the sale of your home, right? You then can start house hunting. And so that same realtor should be able to do all of those things for you. The same realtor who lists your house for sale could be the same realtor that then takes you house hunting. It doesn't have to be the same person, but it can be the same person. This happens every single day. The number one thing that you need to do is find yourself a realtor in your area who you know, like, and trust, who comes very highly recommended, and who closes lots and lots and lots of transactions, and say to that person, how often do you deal with contingencies? Because your offer on a new home is contingent on you selling your current home, right? So you're not going to be forced to buy the new home unless you sell your other home. That's called a contingency. It happens every single day. It's absolutely doable. If I had to guess, I'd probably say 50% of buyers or buyers who are having to sell in order to buy something new. Life changes, things happen, but it's called a contingent sale, all right? So if you are thinking about selling and you want to buy, but you have to sell first, get in touch with a realtor that you know, like, and trust. If you don't know of anyone, listen, I service all of Louisiana to list. As far as buying goes, I service a huge part of South Louisiana if you are a buyer. But I would say if you live, let's say, in Cameron, listen, I'm probably not driving to Cameron to list your house for sale, right? If you live in Houma, I'm probably not driving to Houma to list your house for sale. If you live in Shreveport, probably not driving to Shreveport to list your house for sale. So if you are in a far away, I live in Acadia Parish. So I live smack dab in the middle of Lafayette and Lake Charles, servicing all of Lafayette, all of Lake Charles, as far north as Alexandria, as far south as Delcom and Erath. And I'm also broadening into the Baton Rouge area. I'm actually in Baton Rouge a whole lot now. So if you have anything to sell or buy in the Baton Rouge area, I would love to chat with you. But if you live far away from me and you need a recommendation for a realtor in your area because you don't know of anyone, listen, I'd love to give you a recommendation if I can't handle it myself. But generally, wherever you live, you should be able to list at least 3 amazing real estate agents in your area. If you cannot think of 3 amazing real estate agents in your area, surely give me a call, and I guarantee you I will find you someone who is reputable if it's not me. It is Wednesday today in South Louisiana. It is a gorgeous day. Again, remember this, in real estate, the only way you will know the answers is if you ask. There are no stupid questions. I got into real estate 6.5 years ago, and 99% of what I know today, I had no clue about when I got into real estate. You learn by asking questions. It's the only way. There are no stupid questions. And if you are working with a real estate agent who makes you feel like you're asking too many questions or they're impatient with you, listen, Just in Acadiana alone, last time I checked, I think we're close to 2,000 real estate agents. Find yourself a different one. Find yourself a real estate agent who will answer all your questions, who will make you feel smarter because you're asking those questions, and who will help you find what you need to find. Y'all have a great day. Take care.